It is now 21 minutes before the hour. It is a family ritual in many houses. Tub time for the kids. After dinner, suds and bathtub toys, then into the pajamas and into bed. But as consumer specialist Jerry Cannell reports, tub time could also be hazardous to your children's health.
Bath time. It seems innocent enough. And for these boys and most kids who love and look forward to tub time, it is. But recently, lead has been found leaching from bathtub finishes and is believed to be a newly discovered source of lead poisoning in children. John and Patricia Thomas purchased and completely restored an old Victorian home in Massachusetts. A routine blood test indicated elevated lead levels for their oldest daughter. The state came in and mandated a second professional de-leading procedure costing $15,000. The home passed rigid state compliance standards, but a week after the family moved back in, the youngest daughter's blood lead level had doubled.
We got pretty frustrated, and we decided to go around the whole house and test with these lead check sticks to see where the potential lead sources would be coming from.
I started with all of the plates that the kids eat off of, and I found nothing. So my next thing that I checked was the tub, and so once I found that, I was like, oh, finally.
Mrs. Thomas came for a visit to the clinic and told me about the bathtub. And I have to tell you, it could have knocked me over with a feather. I was unaware of this hazard.
Dr. John Grafe has dealt with lead-poisoned children for over 20 years at Boston's Children's Hospital.
The amount of lead that's going to leach into a bathtub over the course of a relatively small bath period, even if the child were to drink some of it, I think would contribute in very slight ways, if at all, to the child's lead burden. So I would not focus on that. I think probably the thing to focus on are the edges of the tub that the child has access to.
Hazardous levels of lead in a bathtub? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But lead has been used widely as a binding agent in enameling powders, creating their shiny luster since before 1911.
We know from studies we did in 1980 that it was an active part of the process from a main manufacturer of bathtubs, and that in fact workers were getting overexposed and some of them were being poisoned as a result. And we have evidence that this process continues today.
Of the bathtub manufacturers we contacted, only Kohler still uses limited amounts of lead in its finishes. Others have eliminated its use completely. Yeah. Then we asked Dr. Marcia Stone of Hebervet Systems, Inc. about the lead check swabs her company developed to help consumers detect lead in their homes. It's the same test the Thomases used in their home.
It's extremely reliable, and it's been tested by outside groups as well, and it's found to perform reliably in all of the studies it's been used in.
Unique Refinishers of Atlanta conducted a 3-month survey, finding 79% of all cast iron tubs and 27% of all steel tubs they reglazed were leaching lead.
We're finding that bathtubs older than 1984 have relatively high concentrations of lead. You can see that instantly with the lead check swab. It'll go from a light pink to bright red. The faster it turns red, the higher concentration of lead you have in there.
I asked Ron how the lead is exposed.
Basically, bathtubs wear out after a certain period of time. Abrasive cleaners do nothing more than deteriorate the surface of the tub. Dripping faucets will actually erode the porcelain at the drain, and I think exposing more lead.
Many experts agree that the lead present in bathtubs is a potential source for lead poisoning in children. But because this development is so new, there's not enough conclusive proof to prompt action on the part of federal agencies.
I think it points to the fact that lead is everywhere. It's in places that we would not even begin to think about.
I think from an epidemiological point of view that this is yet another way in which children can get exposed. I think in isolated cases it's going to be significant. I would not view it with great alarm. I would view it as yet another way in which we have to protect our children.
And Jerry Cannell is with us. Where do you get those testing swabs?
You can get them virtually in any hardware store in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
I was fascinated that it's not just old tubs.
No,
but new tubs as well?
It's some new tubs. Kohler is trying to reduce the lead that they use. It's in very small portions at this point in time. I expect they'll be out of it by the end of the year.
What do you do if you find your tub test positive?
Okay, well, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can have the tub professionally reglazed, or you can try that yourself with an epoxy reglazing kit, but you need to ventilate the room very, very well because it does give off some strong vapors. You also can buy plastic liners to retrofit the tub. And I would say monitor your children at bath time. Make sure they don't chew on washcloths or mouth the edge of the tub. And make sure you rinse their hands off, because lead, if it's there, can cling to their tissues. And when they eat, the lead can be brought into their body that way.
All right, Jerry, very interesting. And something I'd never been aware of. Thanks.
Thank you.
It is 15 now before the hour. Coming up next, House Doctor Ron Hazelton. Ron?
Well, in a minute, I'm going to show you how to make tiles the perfect decorative touch and how to work with them when Good Morning continues right here on ABC.